Hello and welcome to another episode of the Electric Norwegian. I'm Mats. Today we are in a JAC or JAC E-JS4. That's a fabulous, easy to remember name, isn't it? It's a new Chinese car on the Norwegian market. The company isn't new, the company is from the 50s. And they have been cooperating with VW for a long time. Actually, VW has a part ownership in this. This is an electric car. I'm not entirely certain if it's built on a dedicated platform or not. I don't have that impression. There's no frunk here, but we'll get to that. It's been lent to me by Sarpsborg Bilsenter, which also sells Jeep and Fiat. And they service your Peugeot if you want, and other brands. It's an SUV. It's sort of crossover small SUV, Model Y competitor. It's also priced like a Model Y, so yeah, I'm not sure if it will win that one, but we can just discuss that as we go. We're gonna do the normal range test. It's 2 degrees outside. It's raining. Dribbling. Now the car is making strange noises, no idea why. And we have 91% left on the battery, 373 kilometers indicated, and we have had an average consumption so far today of 232. It's supposed to do 430 kilometers this one. There is on 130 something watt hours. That's in the summer, clearly. It has 65 kilowatt hours battery pack, so it has to be rather efficient to get 430 kilometers out of it. It certainly won't do that today. First impressions are, this is a capable car, priced at competitively priced. It's right now priced as a Model Y. It's actually up to the price, priced at around 40,000 euros. It's clearly not built to be an off-market luxury car. It's decent enough. I mean, most of the interior are softly padded and all of that, but it's the things like you have a single climate zone, you have very simple software in the entertainment system, this is strange thing you find in some Chinese cars, no proper trip computer, for instance. Relatively cheap materials used all over. Cheap in the sense that you see this isn't the most expensive thing in the world, but they've done a decent job with it, and the suspension isn't the most advanced in the world. But it weighs 1,700 kilos though, so it's not all bad, and it's a nice enough place to sit in. And you have around 200 horses. It's front-wheel drive, no 200 in 7 or 8 seconds or thereabouts. So perfectly adequate, and when you're on the road and you floor it, it sort of goes perfectly okay. You have enough power for most situations, and it's speed limited at 150 kilometers an hour. What's that? That's around 95 miles an hour, I think, which is, I mean, basically all the speed you need for most situations. The lights are perfectly adequate. The low beam, as you can see here, is probably LED and very clear and nice. High beam, no, it's there, but you can throw a LED bar at this. It doesn't really matter. You can solve the lighting issue. Other than that, it's little things in here. I was thinking, okay, this goes head to head with the Model Y price-wise. So Model Y has more space, more tech. You have automated headlights. You have adaptive cruise. This is just a simple dumb cruise. You have a better sound system. You have a much better entertainment system, and so on. But I mean, if you just want a car, it's perfectly average. Yeah, I mean, it does its job. There's nothing wrong with it. You have enough power, around 200 horses. So you can't really fault it in any way. It's more telling the Tesla can make competitive to this price-wise and still make money. I don't think anybody else can. No, it's media. The button layout works rather okay, and the lighting in the evening is good. It doesn't disturb you. Sound levels in here are perfectly adequate. It's a bit of wind noise, some tire noise, but it's not excessive anyway, considering the price. Yeah, the camera ran out of power. That's my fault. Sorry. Anyway, it looks okay. It's not. It looks like an SUV. Boot is 510 liters, 520 liters, and 1050, I think, with seat sound. So it's a spacious, nice car, and they've sort of used a lot of the space, and they even have a bit of a well back there. No frunk, because they just put all the components on top of each other, like in the Leaf. So yeah, could have been better. But I don't think this is built on a dedicated platform. Sadly. It should have been, but it isn't. The back seats are... Sorry, I got a hiccup. The back seats are good, but if you're long-legged like me and you're sitting behind yourself, you will find this it's a bit cramped back there. But that's not the JAC's fault. There's plenty of cars with that problem. But in the back, you have everything you need. You have your power outlets and your armrest, and that's really what you get for the car in that price. In the front, it's a nice place to sit. The seats are good. It's all covered in black kind of leatherette product. A lot of the touch surfaces are padded, well padded, softly padded. So it doesn't feel expensive, but it feels nice and it actually feels very nice to touch. Unlike in, for instance, the Toyota, where a lot of the surfaces in the car that you were in contact with were just cheap and terrible and hard and awful. So they've done a good job on that front here. That's nice. The seats are good. The steering wheel is actually leather covered and feels good. Feels better than in the MG we just tested. Instrumentation is good. Very clear. You can choose a few variations of it. It's the same thing mostly. Some of them are cleaner than others. There's no real trip computer here, but it shows you what you need to know. And like in some Chinese cars, the trip computer thing is just weird, but okay, whatever. You have your percentages and stuff there, so it's not really an issue. Infotainment, it's 10-inch screen or something like that. I'm not entirely. There's not that much available data on the car either. So it's hard to tell. It's brand new. It is easy to use. It's not very laggy, and it's relatively limited, so it is easy to find your way around. And that's what it's supposed to do. And it runs CarPlay. There's no nav on it, I think. I don't think I saw a nav on that one, which is a bit sad, but it's not the only car that don't have a nav. My Peugeot van has a nav, don't have a nav, so yeah. It's a nice place to sit. It's not a bad car. The bad cars don't exist, even if they're new cars from China you never heard of. It sounds a bit like a Chinese fax machine, this one, and not a Japanese one. It's a nice, honest car. Like I said in the MG, it's a nice, honest car. That's what it's supposed to do, and it's easy to live with. It's easy to find your way around in it. You get around 200 kilometers out of it. About somewhere between 230 to 250, I believe, imagine in the winter run. I believe it can do 400 in the summer if you just take it easy with it, because it uses a lot more energy in the high speeds than in the low. And low speed, it's actually, if you can believe the energy consumption, very efficient. It runs well sub 200, I mean 170, 60, 50, I even saw 140. So I think it can do it, definitely. But it isn't very aerodynamic, so it doesn't like going past 100 kilometers an hour. Not much above it anyway. But it doesn't have a wow factor, and between 400 and 500 or 40 to 50,000 euros, at least in Norway, it's just jam-packed with everything. Ford, Nissan, Toyota, Volvo, Tesla, everyone is there. And Tesla just dropped the prices. So I know this isn't a car that you wouldn't consider the Model Y in this car. It doesn't cross-shop. But what about the Nissan Ariya? The Nissan Ariya big selling point, and you notice it instantly as the quietness. It's very, very quiet, and it's comfortable, and it's nice, and it's modern, and it's all those things. And the range is about the same in all these cars and all of that stuff, mostly anyway. So it really, the biggest problem is everybody else. It's a bit sad to say that, because it's a decent thing. And also the Maxus unique, what's it called, the SUV 5 or 6 or whatever it was. That's sort of very similar car in many ways, very similar selling points. Decent range for not that much money, and it's spacious, and you have all the equipment you need, and that one also goes, and I think maybe is a better choice than this, and I think it also is cheaper. And Maxus sort of have gotten a bit of a toe in already with the vans and the MPVs and so on. So, but by all means, I applaud Sarpsborg Bilsenter for being brave enough to take in a new brand no one's heard of. I really do. And I know that this is a company from 1954, and they're partly owned by VW. So they know how to make cars. And we're definitely going to see more from them in the future. There's no doubt about that. And it's priced, definitely, it's maybe a price a little bit too high, but we'll see. This will adjust itself over time. So, but I like the car. It was a nice place to sit. There's nothing wrong with it. It's an okay sound system. It's decent lights. The seats are good. Its instrumentation was actually very nice. And then you have the iffy heater and the lack of a proper trip computer and nav and all of that stuff. But that is the software update away, so there is hope for this thing after all. I'm sorry for the somewhat strange video this week. We will hope that it doesn't happen again. But I do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, maybe leave a comment, and do take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.